So anyways, I'm watching that channel, and the next thing Nia recorded was this thing about it looked like those same guys that I saw when I was in London, the Middle Eastern dudes who fly on a cargo plane, fly in all their fucking cars with this same ridiculous wrap, you know? Or maybe it's a paint job. I think it's a wrap that they put on there, you know what I mean? They got like the fucking, it's like that mirrored finish, like those three people in Shanghai now with the gold suits. They'll do that to like Mercedes and all that. Well, when they're back in their country, another status symbol is to own a like endangered species or exotic animals, as they call them. And these fucking guys, they owned like cheetahs and lions and tigers. It was the most disturbing fucking thing. And I'm not even coming at this in like a PETA way. I just sat there going like, dude, that is a fucking lion. You got it on a leash? And these things kept, you know, they'd have their friends over and they'd sort of lunge at them, and then the friends would jump out of the way and be like, whoa, whoa, ha, 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 like laughing. It's just like, if you saw how big these fucking things were, it's just like, they could like sort of like at 30%, like bitch slap a refrigerator and the thing would tip over and go flying across the fucking room. You know what I mean? And these guys are fucking with these things. So this fucking lady goes over there, this white lady, making white people look fucking stupid as shit. She's like, she fucking goes over to this guy's goddamn house. He's got a giant fucking lion. All right? And he goes, well, we'll get, or a tiger or some shit. And he goes, all right, we'll get you comfortable. We'll let you play with some smaller ones first. So she's playing with these little ones, and immediately I was like, I wouldn't fuck with that. A long time ago, I was on Opie and Anthony. They brought in a baby tiger, one of those little white ones or some shit. And they asked me if I wanted to hold it. I was like, no. The thing was upset. It didn't want to fucking be there. And I've been scratched by a house cat. Fucking killed. Right now, all it got me with one goddamn claw went right down my forearm. I had to put all this shit on it so I wouldn't get some sort of goddamn disease. And I'm looking at this cute little baby tiger or lion, whatever the fuck it was. One of those Siegfried and Roy ones. The Mariah Carey one where it's all fucking white, you know? And I'm just looking at the size of its fucking paws. I'm like, that thing's paws already are like 4 times the size of a house cat. I've got scratched by a house cat. This thing's in a bad mood. I don't want to deal with the thing. You know what's funny? He was actually scratched Anthony, if I remember correctly, and he had to get like a tetanus shot. Or something. Some sort of ointment had to be put on his fucking neck. So anyway, so this lady goes in there, right? And she's playing with them. She's like, oh my God, they're so adorable. And was really not impressed with the intellect of the woman. I thought they could have got somebody a lot fucking smarter, right? So then she goes outside to meet this lion. Okay? This lioness. And there's no way to describe to you how big a fucking lion is. It's not very often that you get to see a person standing next to a goddamn lion. She walks up to in the general area of this thing, and the thing's immediately looking at her. The way a fucking wild animal looks at you, you know what I mean? It's the same way. I've always said this. It's the same way like a fucking hooker looks at you, where there's no bullshit, you know? You go to a bar, some woman looks at you, you know, you know, she's just trying to get a fucking drink. A hooker looks at you, it's the real deal. Like, yeah, I will fuck you, okay? If the circumstances are, you know, if you got the money, I will fuck you, right? It's the same thing with, like, lions. They looking at you like if the opportunity arises, I will kill you. You know, dogs don't look at you like that. Fucking lions look at you. You know, cats attempt it. House cats, you know, you turn around, you catch them stalking you and shit. But then you look at them, and then they fucking run away. All right? Picture a cat doing that, a house cat. But you turn around, and it's a lion. And it doesn't run away. It fucking lunges at you. Or maybe gives you that refrigerator bitch slap, right? So this fucking thing is looking at her, and he's the owner who has no training whatsoever. Brings this fucking thing up. Dude, my palms were like sweaty. I had to get, well, I was watching it in bed. I literally stood up going, what the fuck are you doing? So the thing comes over, immediately starts crawling on top of her. It's on top of her. And then she puts her hands on the side of the thing and starts like, you know, rubbing it like it's a giant dog. And all I remember was that there's that YouTube video of that stuntman who worked with bears, and he had brought some sort of relative in there who wanted to learn how to work with bears, and he told him to keep his hands down by his side. And the bear came up and like stood up on its back legs, put its paws on the dude's shoulder, and he instinctively put his hands on either side of the bear, which the bear took as like an aggressive move and wanted to fight, and it fucking killed this guy. So she puts her hands there, and I see that, and I go, oh, fuck, is this thing like a bear? I don't fucking know. And all of a sudden, she got just a little bit scared, and then the thing like collapsed down on her, and it got weird really quick. And then the guy stood up with this rope fucking leash and like quickly tries to pull the lion away, which she does. And this woman gets up like, oh, wow, that was like I feel like that was like a spiritual experience. It's like, bitch, you almost got fucking killed. And then the guy goes, yeah, you got scared and it senses your fear. And then, oh, God, thank God she didn't make any high-pitched noise, like the sound of an animal, like, suffering. You know what I mean? You ever hear, like, a dog toy, you know, when they bite on it, it makes that high-pitched noise? It excites the predator in them. And so I say to Nia, I go, how far into this show before they show us somebody who got killed? I go, I say about 17 minutes. They didn't. It was at the end of the show. And they were just like, 2 weeks after we left, so this fucking woman, basically, the housekeeper comes in. All right? She didn't fucking do anything. She's not like these fucking guys who, for some reason, like, it's just total, like, male ego shit, trying to outdo the other fucking rich guy down the street that they get these things. They don't know anything about the animals. They fucking... At least that's the way it was presented. They didn't know shit about the fucking animals, and then they were like, no, the thing has a better life living here. It's walking around in a fucking cage. You know, it's like, dude, would you want to walk around in a cage? I mean, you could always get knifed. You could get killed the same way an animal could in the wild. It's a fucking lion. Who's killing a lion other than another human being? So anyways, this fucking housekeeper came in, and she got mauled by these fucking lions, and they bring the woman in, and the guy tried to say a dog did it. And they were like, these injuries are a little more than a dog. And then the owner is like, well, whatever do you mean? It's like, well, she's missing her left arm and the claw marks on this. And so you know what the fucking asshole did? He had 3 lions. He went home. He shot all of them and then burned their bodies out in the desert. So so nothing would fucking happen to him. And it was just like, yeah, it's like, yeah, there you go. There you go, fucking inevitable. They had like cheetahs. This guy's riding in a fucking 6-wheeled Mercedes with a fucking cheetah. And that woman's getting in the car going, oh, it's acting just like a dog. It's panning. It's looking out the window. Maybe they had to get somebody. I'm not saying she was not a smart person. She just wasn't very aware of the situation, I feel. And I just kept hearing, like, it was back in the day, like 50 Def Jam comics did bits about how white people fuck with wild animals. And so in a way, I'm like, oh, this is good. For once, it's not white people being idiots with wild animals. You know, now it's Arabs. let's take a little heat off of Whitey, and then they bring this white lady in there, and she fucking does everything that, every one of those bits says that we do.